Looking to enhance the appeal and performance of your gym with state-of-the-art equipment? Look no further than the Gym Administrator. Founded by Sal Corrente, professional wrestling manager, promoter, and author of the great book Bruno Sammartino, the autobiography of wrestling's living legend, available on Amazon.com, the Gym Administrator will spot you on that final rep and assist you every step of the way from purchase through installation, whether it be strength training, cardiovascular training, or performance enhancement. The Gym Administrator works with a wide array of leading vendors and suppliers, carefully selected to meet the diverse needs of your clientele. Service the way you remember it. Contact us at 914-494-1066 or visit our website at thegymadministrator.com, as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator. All your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
That's funny. Well, so Betty had asked earlier about the your IC title reign. You originally won it from Don Baracco. You lost it to Greg Valentine, won it back from Valentine, and then of course famously lost it to Randy Savage. I wanted to talk about the in between there, your feud with Greg Valentine. I mean, you have Zbyszko, Sammartino that comes up a lot, Rich Sawyer, but your feud with Valentine is really one of the best ones, and definitely as far as the crowd reactions, really one of the biggest feuds of that time. Well, and I'm curious if you have any thoughts, like what was it about you and Valentine that were able to keep the fans so invested for what, the better part of 3 years?
Well, you're right. I mean, we used to beat the crap out of each other. That's what we had invested into that feud. But, I was in Erie, Pennsylvania before we flew into Brentford, Ontario to do TV taping. And I was wrestling Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff put me on a crossed leg, and he bent my leg too far, and my cartilage popped.
Oh.
So I could... I mean, I was on stretch on a what do you call those things that you walk with?
Like a crutch?
Crutch. I was on crutches, and I walked into. They were having their production meeting in Brentford, Ontario. As a matter of fact, Andre the Giant helped me to my hotel that night. We were in Pittsburgh. We wrestled in Erie and drove to Pittsburgh by the airport. Andre helped me get to the hotel, and I walked into the production meeting in my crutches, and I told Vince, I said, Vince, I said, I don't think I can wrestle. I said, but I do have an injury. I said, something's wrong. I'm going to have to go see the doctor. But I came in, and I said, but I would like to, make some money out of this injury. And I thought I was going to have a feud with Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, but George Scott was there. He was the booker at the time, and he loved Greg Valentine, and they didn't trust Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff because he would lose his temper and tell everybody to go screw themselves. So we figured out, I taped my knee up real good, and I knew I couldn't do much. So I came in through the ropes. I don't know if you remember that angle, and as soon as I got through the ropes, Greg put a beating to me, and then put the figure 4 leg lock.
It was a quick match, yeah.
Right, yeah, and then they carried me out on a stretcher, and then I had the surgery the following week, and Vince sent the film crew, and they taped the surgery, as a matter of fact, and the guys that were going to be doing the interview afterwards, I told them, because I know that when I'd had the surgery before, and when they put you under, you're a little groggy.
Yeah, you're tipsy, yeah.
Right. So I told the guys, I said, as soon as I opened my eyes, hit me with the question, and that's what happened. As soon as they got me out, and I opened my eyes, and the people really believed, that Greg had messed up my knee, and little did they know it was Mr. Wonderful the night before. But then I had the surgery, and 2 weeks later, I had my first match in Madison Square Garden against Greg the Hammer Valentine. And I mean, we did some pretty heavy duty interviews, because it was legit. It's something that you could really dig in and talk about it, and people could feel the pain. And I told Greg, the first I taped my knee again, and I told Greg, I said, I can't do a lot, Greg, but I said, what I think we should do is I go in the ring and I charge you and I take you down and we just fight like dogs, in the ring. And, that's what we did. I beat the crap out of him in the ring, and then he left the ring and he got counted out. And, I acted like I wanted to go after him, and the referee kept me in the ring. And, the people loved our matches, and the endings that we would leave them with, were always pretty well thought out. And we mixed the interviews with something that the people could feel. And I would never lie to the fans, and I would never say, to the fans that I was going to do something that I never did, so whatever I said, I was able to do. And like, we knew our finishes from show to show. And you're right. I mean, we had every type of match. We had we had in Madison Square Garden, we had time ran out. They shut the lights off in Madison Square Garden, so we were the main event, and we couldn't finish the match. The next time we came, no time limit. Then we did lumberjack matches. We did tape feast matches. We did I forgot what, we did pretty much everything that you could have done. We did all over the country. And what was good back then is we'd have the same match all over the country. And, back then you didn't have the internet, and, people didn't know what was going on from one town to another.
Right. You're seeing it for the first time. Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it was for the first time, and, it worked really well. And the people, I used to come home and I used to tell my wife, I've had easier street fights than wrestling, with Greg Valentine, because I don't know if you guys know, Greg was like a pit bull. I mean, if he would keep coming after you, and if you didn't stop him, he just keep beating the crap out of you. So I would just give him enough, and then I'd fight back. I'd give him enough and fight back, and finally we'd have unbelievable endings, and then we had something else to talk about. We always left the people on the edge where I should have won the match, but I didn't.
Tito, I got to tell you, because when that happened, I think I was about 31. So I knew what the score was by then as far as what wrestling was all about. But I have to tell you, when after he hurt you, and then you did that interview in the hospital, that was very emotional. I really got caught up in it. It's like, man, he's going to get that title back. And that was really, really good. I mean, that drew me in very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, we were selling out without Hulk Hogan. I hate to be patting myself on the shoulder, but, you also had the rest of the card. There was always good matches and good workers. But who was the one that was responsible for the sellouts? Was the main event, and we were the main event, selling out big buildings without Hulk Hogan. And I remember Hulk Hogan came up to us in Boston, and he says, "Man, I heard you guys sold out." Because it wasn't happening before, and we sold out Detroit, and we were the first ones to sell out Detroit even before Hogan, and because the people. Yeah, I am going to pat myself in the back. I'm a much better worker than Hulk Hogan ever was. He got the bigger push.
Oh, God,
and,
yeah.
he got over.
No argument from us
Not
on that
even
one.
close.
Yeah,
but he
not at all.
He did.
So we have another donation. See, Tito, you're still drawing money all these years later. It's from John Gallagher. And it says, tell Tito thanks for my all-time favorite match, Tito and Steamboat versus Valentine and Beefcake at the Maple Leaf Gardens, April 1985, I guess, right after WrestleMania 1. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.